Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. And today's video, we're going to be ranking Rosanna on the first one tier list to see where she ranks and why she ranks in these spots. So I could tell you guys right now, if you haven't just skipped to the end to see, that girl will not go anywhere higher than A. Wherever Zxous is, that's the highest Rosanna could go. But let's talk about her, obviously, because this is a general burst one tier list. So Rosanna, it's so sad because she definitely, like, if it was based on look, she would SS, but it's not based on look. So let's look at her skills, right? So her normal attack obviously deals 5.1% attack as damage. Her first skill 1, activates after landing 120 normal attacks, effect self, gives herself concealment, which prevents her from being the target of single target attack for 10 seconds, but loses that when she takes damage. Also, every time she lands 120 normal attacks, she does increase her crit damage by is it crit damage? I thought that was crit rate. They might have messed up there. I'm pretty sure in game it's crit rate. It's not crit damage. Let me open up Nikke right now. Yeah, so it's not crit damage, it's crit rate. Pride win, y'all gotta fix that. But yeah, increases crit rate by 19.34% for 10 seconds, right? And then activates after landing 10 normal attacks, which is only activated once per battle, but 2 enemies with the highest attack will lose 5 buffs. Great. Second skill, activates at the start of battles, effect self. She just starts the game off with concealment, right, for 5 seconds rather than 10 seconds after 120 normal attacks, and then activates when a Nikke is out of action, affects herself, whether the Nikke is on your team or their team, increases attack, or she gets the frenzy, I guess, stackable buff that increases attack by 22.61%, that stacks up to 10 times and lasts for 30 seconds. And for every Nikke that dies, fills burst gauge by 36.54%. So this is a pretty good part right here. But as you guys see, this is clearly a PvP character, as we already knew. Her burst skill activates or affects 2 attacker enemies, right? 2 attacker enemy units, and deals 1.3k percent of attack as damage. And when under concealment, which she should always be under concealment realistically, not really, but in PvE most likely, I don't know, but deals 561.6% of attack as additional damage, right? So overall, this girl is not gonna be all that great in general, right? In PvP, she's okay at best as well. She's still not better than Jack or anything like that, because the thing with her is, when I tested her myself, actually, one thing I realized is you actually need to invest into this girl for her to be better, right? I want to say minimum skill level 7 and higher is where she will start to actually show some time or some sort of like usefulness, right? She's kind of not all that great in PvP, even though with the R strat, it's not good because the percentage on the fill burst gauge and the frenzy attack is not that high when it's low, but obviously it gets higher when you level it up. Right, and there's other characters, obviously, like every character you want to level up their skills, right? But this character is like more of a forced type situation, where other characters like Modernia, you could just get it to level 5. This character, you can't even get her to level 5 and she'll be decent. Like, it has to be like level 7 or higher, I think, personally. But in the PvE, she's completely useless. Right, in PvE you wouldn't want your Nikkes to die whatsoever, and then the concealment doesn't matter because the whole point of the concealment is to work for this part right here, where everybody else dies and she gets stronger. A character that gets better based on how much people on your team is dead is not really going to be all that great, obviously, right? That's the only reason why she has concealment. The crit rate is it's whatever, right? It's not really going to change anything. And then obviously the dispel 5 buffs in a general sense in PvE is just useless. Like, all her skills in PvE are quite useless besides the crit rate. I believe her burst skill does work outside of PvP, like it actually hits the enemies in PvE. But the thing is, it's only 2 enemies and it's a 40-second burst 1 character, meaning you're forced to bring another burst 1 anyways. And when you have a situation like that, that means you're forced to bring a 20-second burst 2 character, which isn't a problem because most of the burst 2 characters that have a 20-second cooldown are good, but still it's kind of, you know, you're forced to have a one type of team basically with this character if you use her in PvE. So She's not good anywhere outside of PvP, and even in PvP, I still wouldn't say she's the best. She's decent, right? She'll probably be a very good PvP character if you actually have all her skills level 10. Like, if you have all her skills level 10, and you do run that R strat, if you guys have watched my video with the R strat where when you kill the R's, it just builds up your burst gauge and you just nuke, then it will work perfectly. But for her to be completely level 10, for her to start being useful, is not all that great, in my opinion. Let me see what Pride win. I think they ranked her. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, so Pride win, literally, let's see their pros and cons. Dispels, buff dispels in PvP can actually help you deal with some nasty characters like Jackal. It's really only Jackal, right? I want to say. I mean, there's other characters like Noir and stuff, but Jackal is really what this is doing. Like, this part right here is just for Jackal. 2 enemies with the highest attack, and Jackal's shared buff goes to 2 allies with the highest attack. So there's no question. They didn't make this just for characters who can buff in the beginning. They made this for Jackal's second skill completely. That's as clear as day to see. Right, the cons. Let me see. Totally useless in PvE, 40-second burst cooldown, below average burst generation because she's an MG wielder, which is true, right? That is another thing. She doesn't really have good burst generation herself, so you're kind of forced to bring a team that has good burst generation, right? So even if you were to use the R strat in PvP, it would probably have to be her, Senti, and then your burst 3 would have to be someone who either has decent burst generation and can guarantee nuke, right? Because if you guys remember, if you watch my video, I did some testing with it. We obviously didn't have level 10 skills, so we would, like, the team was working out perfectly. We were getting the burst generation and the attack and stuff like that, and we would get the burst. But the thing was, because we didn't have enough burst generation, Scarlet would actually die faster before she was able to burst and just nuke everyone. But then we put on another character to keep the heals up, and then the team worked perfectly. We just nuked everything like we thought it would. So like I said, it's a character you definitely have to get up to like level 7 minimum, level 10 highest, right? They really put her D everywhere, which makes sense. You're not going to use her in bosses, you're not going to use her in progression, you're not going to use her anywhere, right? What's it called? And yeah, literally her whole kit does, that's true, her whole kit goes down the drain because of rocket launcher users, right? Loses when the caster takes damage. Rocket launchers, if we go to their tier list, which their tier list for PvP is quite accurate too, because it would be the same as my PvP tier list, but literally all these characters are rocket launchers, basically. Rocket launcher, right? Rocket launcher, rocket launcher, rocket launcher, rocket launcher. Only there's sniper, you're a rocket launcher, and you're AR, right? And then even in the second tier, this is a shotgun, rocket launcher, right? Like a lot of these characters are rocket launchers, at least, especially the main PvP characters. So I'm definitely, where is Rosanna? I'm definitely going to have to say she is honestly a C tier character. She is a bad character. She's not B, she's not A, because she's not even though her kit is meant for PvP, she's not that great in PvP, right? So, and she has no value anywhere else, so you can't put her anywhere else. Like, you generally cannot use her anywhere. This would probably be your last option in almost every single situation, right? And knowing how bad she is, I want her like to summon for her so badly just for the character collections and stuff, but is it worth going for all the trouble for a character? Like, it is just character collection at the end of the day, so it really doesn't matter. But this character is just not good whatsoever, and it's so sad because this character had the looks to be the best character. It's so laughable. But literally, if everybody in PvP is a rocket launcher, then rocket launchers have AoE shots, basically. You shoot one person, it spreads to an AoE attack. So she will get hit no matter where you place her, right? Because there's only 5 enemies, like 5 slots. No matter where you place her, she will get hit regardless. So she's not all that great. I mean, you can make her work in PvP for her to be great. But like I said, level 10 skills. So this is going to be the Burst 1 tier list for Rosanna. This is where I'm going to put her on the Burst 1 tier list. Definitely let me know if you guys agree or not. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Later. Peace.